It's time to get something off my chest. Nothing personal. It's just something that happened in 1978. And I've only briefly talked about it. And it's something where I'm going to have to ask for someone's professional opinion, someone that might be aware of what military aircraft were sort of invented during the 70s and whether they've got capabilities that would explain what I saw. So, like I said, it was 1978, and it was myself and my best friend Mark Humphreys, and we saw this spherical light. That's the only way I can describe it. A spherical light come out of the Pacific. We were on the beach, Avalon Beach, and we saw this spherical light, and it wasn't on the horizon, it was much nearer than that. Obviously, because I could make out that the light came out of the water, and then it hovered above the water for some time. And then when it decided it was going, it just took off at a jaw-dropping velocity. Thousands and thousands of miles an hour it must have been traveling at when it decided it was going. But I got the feeling, I don't know if I was a bit paranoid at the time, but I got the feeling that while it was hovering, it was just watching us or observing us from where it was. So I was on Google Earth and I revisited this beach. Like I say, it's 1978, it's a long time ago. But I wanted to throw open a question, and that is, were there any aircrafts available? Well, available to the Australian Air Force or any Air Force that were amphibious, that could hover, and that could fly at thousands of miles an hour back in the 70s, 78. I mean, do we have aircraft that can do that now? I'm not aware of any that can do that. So that's why I believe that quite possibly I saw an unidentified flying object or something that I couldn't explain in human invention terms. And I thought by revisiting the actual beach, admittedly through green screen, I might be able to sort of solve a few question marks that I've had since the 70s. Now, I've spoken to this on another forum, some friends of mine, and some are saying, well, consider that there might have been like an aircraft carrier on the horizon, and they might have been sort of experimenting with maybe something brand new at the time. Well, it have to have been brand new if it was a spherical light that came out of the water. For me, that was the biggest question mark on deciding whether I saw something that was quite normal or something that was completely extraordinary. Right, so I want to ask, are you brave enough to admit that you may have seen something yourself in your lifetime? Something you can't explain? Something that if you try to look at the technology at the time, you would be hard pressed to come up with convincing argument as to what it is. And yeah, get back to us, let us know. I don't mind admitting that I've seen something like this. You know, if I'd have been just one person who saw it on that beach, you could call me daft, you know, crackpot, whatever. But my friend Mark Humphrey saw it, and there were people on the headlands, and they saw it as well. And they reported it to the UFO authorities in Sydney, Australia at the time. And no press came down. That was all stopped. They wouldn't let the press come down, talk to us about what we saw. It was completely shut down. And I get paranoid when people do that. When people shut down something, instead of talking about it, it does make me feel as if, why are they doing it? So, there you go. Revisiting my all UFO experience of 1978 at Avalon Beach, New South Wales, Australia. Thanks.